Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. A belated, very belated, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. And this week we are finally covering the Christmas special 2023, The Church on Ruby Road. And to discuss this episode with me, I'm joined by my three co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, he's got gas in the tank, he's got money in the bank. Let's face it, you're looking at the man. It's Freezing Inferno.
Is that a wrestling joke?
It's a killer's lyric.
Oh, I threw money in the bank and I assumed.
Yes, because all money back references must refer to that pay-per-view.
Correct.
No, because that one doesn't. Anyway. To my virtual right, she's on fire. Wait, no, my mistake. She's on orange netting. It's cognitive server bear known as Cat.
We did that last week.
And
we did that last week.
That wasn't the intro, Bob.
God.
Look, it's such a stupid story. It deserves to be referenced again. And again.
And again.
And again.
That girl
This is
is
such
on
a
orange
dumpster. This is such a dumpster orange name.
Dumpster orange netting, yes.
Doctor Who orange netting alert.
I think they need that, actually.
We're not even a minute into the episode, guys. Come on. And speaking of dumpster orange nettings, then, and finally, he told a transfer what they could do with a cactus, and all he got was this lousy ban from Twitter. It's Kachiri.
Hi.
Good.
Twitter keeps emailing me. Hey, we've noticed you haven't checked your 302 notifications. You want to go check
I
them?
wonder why.
I'm like, no.
You might be getting your account back soon because a few accounts that got suspended last year have successfully appealed. This week.
We'll see.
Right. No, he said something pro-trans people, so therefore he'll never be let back on to Elon Musk's little ego trip.
Yeah.
I'll find out real fast. Nope.
I'm just waiting for me to get banned at this point.
So yes, the three of us are here, or the three of you are here with me to discuss The Church on Ruby Road.
Yay!
But
No buts. Just you're here to discuss The Church on Ruby Road.
But did you forget that I planted my flag? And now that it's been the holiday season, it's time to unfurl that flag. We call dibs on Sean Dillon for Church on Ruby Road, and here they are.
Hi, I can't make it in time. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Holy hell! This is getting better. It's like they're really here with us.
Rez? I didn't play that.
Wait a minute. Oh no! It actually worked.
You fool! You played a game. You let him in.
I've been here the whole time.
Oh,
Okay,
Rez, is this
Samurai.
why you send me that chalk and a pentagram diagram and some candles?
You played a game and you let him in, and he's here now.
You spread some salt at the edge of the universe.
And now I have to sing this Spice Girl song. Shoot, I don't know any Spice Girl songs.
Good.
I can't decide whether you should live or die. Oh, you probably go to heaven.
I'm just glad he's singing this. He's been pestering me with a song from late game Kamen Rider Build for the last 2 weeks.
I bet you he hasn't.
Oh, well, that's all right then. I mean, I could just go with Evangelion. Bum 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 ba ba bum.
That's a classical song. That's not Evangelion.
Yeah, it is. It's from the shot where they ran out of budget, so they put a still image for 20 minutes.
That isn't Evangelion. He's right.
So, welcome to the show, Sean Dillon.
Yay!
Welcome to the anarchy. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the Church on Ruby Road.
Yay!
Hail
Oh,
Satan!
boy.
We should jump into this because that's taking forever.
Yeah, just pull out the curtain some more, don't you? Wait a minute, pull out the curtain. Mike!
Shit.
Every time.
Man, we're just dropping the baby here. Speaking of dropping the baby.
You remind me of the babe.
Don't drop the baby.
What, babe?
No, please don't drop the baby.
Babe with the power.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
Power of
Voodoo.
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the babe.
Power of me.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Okay. Yeah, I think 5 people might be the
that's all
limit.
right then.
It's now set. You also got the Patrick Harris just
Ending
coming in.
chaos.
Oh, God. When we get to the Beatles episode, help. So,
I need
Yes.
somebody.
Help! Not just anybody.
I need somebody. Ah!
We all live in a yellow
In the
submarine.
yellow submarine.
that's not till late. That's not till May, June, July, whenever it's aired. But yeah, we start with a cold open with the Doctor narrating and a baby being dropped off at a church door.
Yeah.
And of course, we
Get
go
back
back
to
to this scene.
I do want to call out like the wording because I just rewatched the episode the other day, and
Good choice.
there's a choice of wording about how something changes when a time traveler appears, and if this was the original like path of this, something tells me something else is going to happen in this scene in a later episode.
Oh, absolutely. We're coming back to this church.
Mm.
And not just
I
in
mean,
this
we're
episode.
gonna
either.
have to, because eventually Ruby's gonna be like, "I want to go to the church. Take me to the church.
No,
Where's the church?"
it's
Take
confirmed.
me to church.
And I'll call the episode Mother's Day.
Oh, no.
No.
Did you have to?
Yes.
Remember 2005 when the show was good?
Quiet you. That's the
It was
next
as good as
podcast.
2008.
2005, when the
good?
show was not as good as 2008, is the next podcast. Quiet you.
That's right. We get our first look of the Doctor crying, and then we get a bit of backstory on our new companion.
Yeah. Ruby Sunday. Still love that name.
What a lovely name.
Still love that name.
It's really
Not as good
nice.
as Ruby Tuesday.
It's also pretty good.
Look, if we wanted mediocre food and a disgusting salad bar, then we can go to Ruby Tuesdays.
Hey, I was talking about the Rolling Stones.
I was going to say,
Culture.
I didn't know
Okay,
it
good.
as a restaurant.
Mm.
Yeah, it's mid at best.
It's mid.
Salad bar.
There's,
is
a
It was
reason
mid.
not
why,
mid.
there's a reason why you hear people talk about Chili's and Fridays before they get to Ruby Tuesdays.
Mid, like a dildo brewery poutine.
I'm sure that means something to Canadians.
There's a town in Newfoundland called Dildo.
And I was there on Labor Day and had a poutine, and it was mid.
It's still not as funny as the Wank Guest House in Switzerland.
So maybe Sunday.
Yeah. Played by Millie Gibson. Not
Well-
really that well known outside of English soaps before this episode goes there, but my God, she's going to be famous.
And once again, we have another EastEnders crossover.
Oh,
And once again, I get to talk about eyebrows.
Yeah. I think that's the reason why people thought she was Clara's daughter, because of the eyebrows.
she did look a
No,
little
not
bit like
even that.
Clara.
Why aren't they the same color? Why
She
aren't they
did
the same color?
She did look a little bit like
That's
Clara
Bleach.
in the promotional material for a couple of episodes, but I don't think there's a link there. I mean, if it turns out that that's who drops her off at the church door, I will lose my mind.
So would someone else.
We
That's
get
all
it. You
about someone
worship
else.
Clara like your Lord and Savior.
you missed the boat to do that for the giggle when Clara's directly mentioned.
Oh,
She was killed by a bud.
She was
I
killed
mean,
by
to
a.
be fair, she does look a lot like Clara.
Yes.
His
Eyebrows.
face when he says that lie is like, I have no idea what's in this script, but I'm just going to say it anyway.
It's like we talked about that last week.
It's like we talked about that last week, but
I'm still absolutely laughing at the fact that that's his introduction to Doctor Who is, this is one companion and she got touched by a weeping angel. He's like, okay, I don't know what that is, but all right. There's this other companion, she got turned into a Cyberman. Okay, cool. And then there's this other one that was kind of popular. She got killed by a bird. Excuse me?
So Rain, you're going to have to take point here as the resident British person and explain to all of us across the pond Davina McCall.
Oh god, we're into that already. This was the funniest thing of the entire episode for me because of who Davina McCall is. So if you've watched series 1, not the series 1 that's coming up this year, but the Eccleston 2005 series 1, you've actually heard Davina McCall in Doctor Who.
She was a Davina bot.
Yeah, the Davina droid. She was the voice of the Big Brother show.
Oh my god.
But this is
nobody else of note was in that episode.
This is her first appearance physically in front of the camera on Doctor Who, and she's playing herself, and she's interviewing Ruby because Davina McCall has a show where she tries to sort of reunite long-lost families.
Yeah, it's a real show on BVT?
ITV.
ITV, right, ITV, which really disappointed Lawrence Miles, who overall liked the episode.
Okay.
I mean, Lawrence Miles has interesting opinions on the show.
Lawrence Miles is the greatest weirdo Doctor Who has ever known.
Yeah, that tracks.
I mean, we have encountered a few ourselves.
I don't know who that is. I was waiting for someone to explain who they are.
Ah, right. Lawrence Miles is the creator of Faction Paradox.
Oh, right.
What?
The voodoo cult that came about from the 8th Doctor era who tried to buy the Doctor's corpse.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
The 8th Doctor era was, for a time, interesting.
Readable interesting or just interesting?
What?
Readable interesting or just interesting?
Sometimes readable
Paul
interesting.
McGann's not dead. What Doctor's corpse were they trying to buy?
The Doctors from a future time war, or where the first act ended with the Doctor dying.
The expanded universe is a trip.
Isn't it just?
I mean, Frezno, do you have the cover for
wait.
Mad Dogs and
Okay, now I'm
Englishmen?
confused. Is this in real life, or
that.
is this something that happens in the canon?
I thought it was real life.
There is no canon. Canon is sheep shit.
It's sheep shit.
But
oh.
yeah.
Oh, that's a thing. Wait,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
Yeah, hang on. I'll get that for y'all in just 2 seconds here. Just get a good rip of it. That's not Lawrence Miles, though, but I guess.
No, yeah, but still, it just shows the excesses of the EU.
I see.
Or at least that era of the EU, before it basically became an extension of the new series, and a middling one, mostly run by Big Finish.
All right, here you go.
What the fuck?
What in the hell?
A Tolkien ref.
Like, you can
I'm
zoom in a
so
little bit more. I'm trying
confused right
to
now.
figure out what's going on here.
How about that? That do anything for you?
Why is there not to figure out? There's a poodle with a gun.
Smoking
Why does the poodle
a
have hands?
cigar.
It's a poodle with a ray gun. What more do you need?
That's an actual
This
book
was-
cover that got greenlit.
Yes.
And that's also the 100th Doctor Who novel.
Yes.
How did this series make it to 10, let alone 100?
Oh, yeah.
Very carefully.
No,
Can you
I'm
go
Megusta.
lie
telling
down
John
now?
Peel do another Doc story.
Okay.
And
But going
you're
back to the
finding-
Davina McCall, which is what I was asked to talk about in the first place. Yeah, she's got this real Long Lost Family show. She's also frequently getting confused by people with Claudia Winkleman, who is the host of The Traitors, among other things.
You've been talking about that show a lot.
It's amazing, but I'm not going to talk about that.
You need
at
to
length.
watch it.
I'm not going to talk about that at length. But the funny thing is that when Davina gets asked, "Are you Claudia Winkleman?" she'll sign autographs as Claudia Winkleman, and Claudia Winkleman will just say for Davina McCall.
Eh, At least they find it amusing.
Oh yeah, they get on. I believe they get on.
Hopefully.
Either that or Claudia Winkleman hired the goblins to kill her.
Oh yeah, the goblins.
We're not quite there yet because Davina McCall dies in this episode.
We're not there yet either. We haven't gotten there yet. We've got to get to that.
Oh,
Time
God.
is non-linear. Lunch doubly.
I mean, he already ruined it.
We're doing it a little
entirely
differently
because
this time.
he
Sean.
skipped right over Ncuti Gatwa as the doctor, went straight to Millie Gibson. So,
Well, the thing is, it makes more sense to talk about how Ncuti Gatwa is the doctor in the snowman scene, because the snowman scene comes out in the middle.
Hey, I'm in charge of that one.
I don't see your name. Yes, you are in charge of that one because you came up with it. Never mind.
But the thing is, we get to see multiple days out of December from this point. Because after the first time Millie and Davina has a conversation, an accident happens, and lights almost fall on both of them. And then we see multiple days where the doctor, sporting a different outfit every day, is basically keeping an eye on Millie.
Yeah. One of those days, she's performing with a band with a trans lead singer, and that's absolutely delightful. And Russell nicked it from his own novelization of Rose.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
I love Ruby's band. They're lovely.
Yeah, it's absolutely delightful band. And the person who is shouting at them to play specific songs was the actress from Wild Blue Yonder who played I think Newton's landlady.
Yeah.
And her name is Susan Twist.
Oh,
And she might
I'm going
be.
to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. She probably doesn't matter. They probably had a pool of actors and actresses to pick from, and they just picked her because they knew that she was a good job, and they thought that nobody recognized her. It is not a mystery. It just is.
I hope
There
you're
There is
right.
such thing as coincidences.
I almost hope that Sean is right and that RTD knows that the actual name was Susan Twist and thought, I'm going to mess with the fandom here. I'm going to cast this person in like different roles. And she's literally called Twist. And they think, oh my God, she's important. And she isn't.
Well, the thing is, she's in 2 speaking roles, 2 episodes apart, where the camera does actually focus on her face.
I just love the
This
fact
isn't, this isn't Agria Freeman being an extra who, shows up a year later. This isn't Killen Gillen or, Peter Capaldi, who showed up, a year or more after their, being guest stars.
But at the same time, it's not Jenna Coleman playing Clara in The Asylum of the Daleks.
I very much
beat
doubt
me
it.
to
Yeah.
it.
I still think that some people are reading far too into it. Mrs. Flood doesn't mean anything. It was just a fun little thing. This lady being the same actress as the one from Wild Blue Yonder doesn't mean anything.
We
They
will
probably
touch on
had a
Mrs.
pool.
Flood later.
They pulled from the pool.
Much later because it gives me a
I know, I'm
headache
just getting
talking
it
about it.
out there
Anyway,
now.
Yeah, mood.
Anyway,
I'm just getting it out there now.
All right.
Yep.
Anyways, we return to the band shortly thereafter with a scene in a street corner that was filmed very late in production. And because Russell the Davies got a note from Disney, the only note that Disney has given him, telling him, hey, we kind of need a scene where the doctor does something.
I
And
hate to
so-
say this.
If only we could have scenes, notes like that for the Chibnall era, then what we could have had.
I hate to say this because it might get clipped out and used on the future podcast on her soundboard. But Disney was right.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Wait, someone said something while you were saying that, Rain. We need a clear take of it.
Don't know, right?
Sorry, I did. Something came up. Can we have another take?
Was right.
I'm sorry, you cut out really badly. You cut out really, really badly.
I'm not
I
falling
wasn't
for
able
it.
to
You
hear
heard me right the first time. When I said
Right
that a
the
certain
first time.
company, for once in its life, was right.
Which company?
Rain,
Good thing
You
I
were
was
right.
recording this.
what other company was right in comparison to you?
Lethal Company,
think
which
he
is
just
podcast is not
implied-
sponsored by.
He just implied that capitalism was right, Frez.
No, I did
No,
not.
that's Amazon.
I did not. Okay, fine. Okay. You want to play this game? You want to play this game, Kat? I said
Bring it.
that Disney. So that's the snowman scene.
Hey, we forgot about the top.
Was right. So that's the snowman scene.
Man, we just got blue yondered.
Well, either way, I think Sean wanted to talk about the snowman scene. So
Right.
I'm setting him up. I'm setting him up.
Right. So it's absolutely charming description of Ncuti Gatwa's doctor. For all that we had the greatest hits novella that was the 10th. It's 14. Ncuti Gatwa is extremely charming in the role. It doesn't feel like he is extremely gay. He is the gay doctor. He is the gayest gay guy who ever gave a Doctor Who, and he is absolutely delightful.
good.
Well, I see that other people want to talk about this, but in specific details with this scene, we have him saving Ruby and her friends from a snowman and crashing down on their taxi cab, which ends up landing on his head. And while a rather interesting lady walks by with a carriage full of groceries at midnight, which, okay, I've gone out at midnight. Right? And then we get this deduction scene that so many people on Tumblr are going, oh, you see, Ncuti Gatwa gets more for deduction scenes than anyone on Sherlock ever did.
Oh, Christ.
Yep.
Can we
Uh-huh.
not just say he's the gay doctor? Can we just say flamboyant? I feel like
Fair.
flamboyant's more general because I'm pretty sure this doctor is going to be flirting with everyone, not just
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm just gonna say it. Ncuti Gatwa, the doctor who fucks.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Excuse you. The third Doctor 100% fucks.
This is-
Don't you at me on that. Don't at.
This third
100%
doctor
sure.
revived.
No, actually, I'm gonna at you on that. The whole point of the Green Death is that the third Doctor does not fuck. He wants to fuck, but he does not fuck.
That's a fair read. It's the Green
There's
Death.
really no way to respond to that.
Because we haven't done Green Death yet.
There's really no way to respond to that.
Go
But
on,
I do like the snowman scene, and I especially love the follow-up scene with the deduction and the policeman. And many people say this was the moment they knew that he was going to be a fantastic doctor with Ncuti Gatwa.
Honestly, I knew that from the giggle, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he had his moments in the giggle, but I think this is where he really gets to shine.
I love the I just got snowman blind. I don't want to deal with anything right now.
Yeah.
The Doctor, her occupation, and not Doctor, her destination, that ways, his place of residence, it's that blue box over there, and your girlfriend is gonna say yes.
I love
Do you
that
know?
scene.
My son's screwdriver went ding. That's a screwdriver? It's Sonic.
Can we talk about a little bit about the new screwdriver, because it's been divisive.
It's better than sunglasses.
Certainly more expensive than sunglasses.
No, these guys know how much I hated the sunglasses.
Yeah, he did. In fairness, he did.
You can tell
Is it
because
bad?
Frezno is wearing sunglasses.
No comment.
At night.
Is it bad though that every single time he pulls that thing out, the first thing I think of is, man, that movie Click was sure weird.
It does look like the Click remote. It does.
I do like how they did design it for Ncuti. There's a Rwandan phrase and Gallifreyan on it and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Really
nice.
nice.
I'm sure that phrase actually says that.
The sharpness of the
by the
tongue
way,
will defeat the sharpness of the warrior.
Nice.
I
I
hope
just
that
want to
means we
mention,
get-
Gatwa has not publicly come out with exactly what his sexuality is. He just came out as queer in general. So calling him the gay doctor is definitely not correct.
Okay.
In that
I'm fine with
case.
one boy.
Fair enough.
Flamboyant's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
no,
is-
he's definitely flamboyant. I I personally think, we're now in the day and age, as the Ninth Doctor called it, that most of us are very open with everything. We're not,
Oh, you've not been on Twitter for a while, have you?
The dancing doctor.
Yeah, incidentally, him at the nightclub was absolutely delightful.
Oh
That
yeah.
was amazing.
Oh, yes.
And the thing is, everyone complained about that scene, but it's like when you watch it in context, he's literally just there to keep an eye on Ruby.
He's wearing a skirt. It's a man wearing a skirt. This is disgusting. No, calm down, Daily Mail viewers. It's readers. It's a kilt. It's
Yeah, I was
Scottish.
pretty sure it was a kilt.
Though
It
that
is.
bar is very much a very queer bar. In fact, you could probably see it in It's a Sin, and with
Yeah,
an
and
elder. One can imagine an elderly Lydia West enjoying her martini as she watches these young whippersnappers dance around. Then a Patty LuPone type walks by, and she decides to have some dance of her own.
Honestly, I think that if we have all these people who are complaining, like, not my doctor, this one is too queer and everything, good. Leave. I don't want you here. Leave.
Well, yeah, all 100 of them.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
I love now on Threads. It's basically like Twitter, but different. But
I mean,
I had a conversation with
Threads is
some
very
guy
different.
who was adamant that that Disney was going to go under this year. That all these things that Bob Iger's forcing onto Doctor Who and all that stuff is going to ruin everything. And it's like,
yes, that's the reason Disney is going to go under.
and I'm saying here, like, are you sure about that? I mean, Disney Plus currently has over 160 million subscribers, and every single special so far has been in the top 5 trending. That means tens of millions of views.
But the show is dying, right, guys?
Yeah, and then it's like you get the people who are like, well, in David Tennant's last episode, he got 10 million views. 5 million means the show's dying. You know what? Like 30 million people don't have TVs now compared to back then either. So
That was an amazing impersonation of a Twitter troll.
Speaking as a comics person, the industry is dying is something you just get used to. Comics has been dying since the 1980s.
I have a comment on that, but I want Frez to get their thoughts in.
I was just going to say, but Kachiri, haven't you considered that this person doesn't like the new Doctor Who? That means that it's going to fail. That means that they win.
What I can tell you right now is I can hear this whole, well, Doctor Who is dying argument for the next 10 years. It's just like freaking Super Sentai. Did you know this upcoming Super Sentai is going to be the final Super Sentai? Some troll said every year since 2005.
Wasn't the Moffat era the time when the show finally died?
So what's the chimney there? It's resurrected corpse?
Honestly, I just want to point out that I recently found out about this. So Disney owns part of Fox, correct? 20th Century Fox.
All of it.
Is whatever
All of
you want
it.
to call it.
All of it
No,
except
actually,
for the
they
news.
don't own part of it. They don't own the new stuff. So part of that is they also now own the Alien franchise.
Oh,
Have
God.
y'all ever heard of the Little Golden Books?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the ABCs of Aliens from Little Golden Books?
Oh, no.
That is not a real thing.
It is. There's 2 of them.
Frezno, there's a Predator cartoon.
Give me just a moment and I'll
RoboCop
bring them up
cartoon.
for you if my internet decides to not destroy itself.
Well, she's bringing those up. Disney technically owns the 1996 Doctor Who special.
Yeah.
Again, it's back, baby.
We could have the.
There's only one episode that Disney doesn't own now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, technically, they didn't actually own that one. They just own the TV movie and whatever new stuff that's happening.
Imagine if that guy, specifically told Disney Plus they could use the episode, but not the BBC.
Oh, right, that guy.
Oh God, it's real.
Other online retailers
Yeah, of course
are
it's
available. They absolutely are. But obviously, I found this one on Amazon. The other reason we stay on Amazon is just because there's a certain book written by a certain beautiful wolf lady that we stand.
And
Yes, it is 100% real. Look at that.
And a certain
Well,
book written
actually,
by a
it's
certain,
not real. Actually, it's not real because it doesn't come out till July 9th, 2024.
Yes,
Okay,
but
Mr.
there is a second
Technicalities.
one as well.
Also, don't forget that there's some other person here who might have a book on Amazon.com available for purchase.
2 books.
Prez?
Friends, we talked about this. You were supposed to reveal that. God damn it.
Oh my
I
gosh,
wish.
Are there more books that I didn't know about?
Yes,
maybe in the
Horse
future.
Beetle.
Oh yeah, Horse of... Oh yeah, well, we'll talk about that when we plug all our stuff. But yes,
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 it's
God,
20
we have a
minutes.
10-minute plug segment coming up in
I
about
said,
an
plus
hour.
it's 20 minutes.
anyway, in response to this alien book,
Clara Oswald.
Yep.
No, the other
Oh,
thing
yeah,
you
that-
always
figured
leave.
it's going to be butchering
That
the toad.
image kind of looks like a goblin. Goblins?
We're still
Yeah, segue.
we're jumping way ahead of the.
just let it flow.
If we're
Just
going,
let
if we're
the
going back to your
non-lead.
list, we've talked the cold
Let
open.
it
We
flow.
talked
Let
Yeah,
it flow.
okay. I will
There
say
you go.
this though. I will say that I'm obviously it got undone by the end of the episode, which we'll talk about later on. But the Davina McCall phone call scene is hilarious, and then she gets killed by a Christmas tree. She also got hit in the back of the head with the plug of the lights when it didn't crush Ruby earlier on. She's in a wheelchair. She's got like casts on. She's been through the ringer as this woman.
Davina McCall, only the second woman ever in Doctor Who history to yell, "I'm gonna get killed by a Christmas tree!"
Third.
Okay, now we can talk a bit about the goblins.
Goblins.
They're cool.
Honestly, I just love the fact we have goblins in Doctor Who now.
I will be talking more about the implications of that later.
Oh boy.
I mean, you could probably talk about it now because, I mean, everything we want.
No, I'm saving it for later.
Okay.
Can I talk about how these goblins were brought to the screen?
Please do.
Do you think there was CGI? I've got a question for you. Do you think these goblins were CGI?
They were all people in costumes.
Puppets with CGI help.
No,
A
no,
mix.
they were all normal-sized people in costumes that they did perspective filming with.
Yes.
All of the above.
Amazingly, Kachiri is right.
Yep.
These
It's
were
like
real
the more
performers.
practical effects, the better.
Well, it's a
Some
bit
of
practical
these
effects.
people are famous Sioux actors too.
Yeah, Richard Price.
What?
Richard Price, who's been on Doctor Who a number of years now.
And
Nice.
I want to say one of them said they were a creature. I cannot remember. It's not. They were a golem-like creature from another show, and I can't think of what that show was.
Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
God, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Well, because I know one of the Unleash, they talked about how she was a different character in a different show, and how is the Goblin any different from?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, this was all suit actors and practical effects, and again, yes, big thumbs up to that.
Yeah.
They
finally
seem
had the
to be
budget for
CGI
it.
in the sets. They seem to be using the CGI on the sets more than anything.
Yeah, they have the Disney screens that they use for Avengers.
And Star Wars. Actually, I don't think they've ever used it for Avengers. Only Star Wars.
No, it's that they developed the technology for Infinity War, and then they used it for Mandalorian and all their other Disney Plus shows that requires them to have crazy sayings.
So
Except
that's
Andor,
why
which just came
Infinity
to my
War sucked.
hometown and just filmed there.
What was that, Sean?
So that's
Sorry.
why Infinity War sucked.
Yeah.
One of many reasons, perhaps.
Yeah, it's what a gray, miserable film.
And Endgame is considered to be I don't know, is Endgame supposed to be better than Infinity War or not?
No, it's all crap. It's all crap.
Sean, you
As
should have been here
someone-
for the giggle when we went off on turning Doctor Who into fucking Marvel.
I'm just
Yep.
gonna sit over here and I actually like
as
Infinity
someone
War
who
and
wasn't
Endgame.
actually a fan of the MCU.
Look, I watched the entire MCU up to Civil War. You do that, and you realize how much you hate Marvel comics.
I wasn't speechless then,
Anyway.
so I couldn't get to the microphone quick enough to stop that sneeze. But
You're
Anyway,
fine.
Endgame was a great movie.
Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a better ending.
Oh my god, yes, that was.
wow,
The last Marvel movie that actually matters.
I'd say the hot take brigade.
I mean,
but
Deadpool
he's
3
right.
is coming out.
The last
That's
Marvel movie
technically
that
Marvel.
actually matters is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah,
I will
When it
fight
went
you.
downhill.
Sean's being contrarian right now.
I love Deadpool.
Oh,
Oh,
you
I
you
will
would know,
fight you.
contrary.
Why do I remember that?
Oh boy. So yeah, I love the goblins, and I love the fact that we've actually changed the show now that we can have goblins.
I
And
love
all
how,
this-
even though we're introducing magic, that
Magic,
The Doctor.
you say?
Oh,
the
you
Doctor. Okay, I've been trying to get points out for like the last 10 minutes.
you said the
Well,
secret word, but carry
Let it
on.
flow. Let it
No,
flow.
secret word
I
is-
love how even though
That's not the secret word.
magic's being introduced, the Doctor is still calling it
You almost got
science,
me,
and
Frezno.
he's theorizing all about it. I'm just going to keep talking.
Was it not the MCU that said that science and magic are virtually indistinguishable from each other at some point?
I will murder Arthur C. Clarke!
Anyway,
The greatest outburst this podcast has ever had.
I just absolutely love the fact that the Doctor is still like he's more happy about it, but he's still hard set that it's still a science, and he's learning the new sciences with it.
No, it's the language. He's learning a new language.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
The language of
But
ropes.
still science.
Magic, at its heart, is an act of artistic creation. So, which is why the noble magicians of the modern day are people like Rachel Pollack, like Steve Moore's best friend, Grant Morrison, who will never be on Doctor Who. I am so sorry, Grant.
Does he want to be?
They absolutely do.
Oh, dude.
Sorry, do they want to be? Sorry.
Yes, they absolutely do. They have been trying to pitch it for years, and they have tried to, and they've actually developed a pitch with a friend of theirs, who I'm pretty sure is High Rise director Ben Wheatley.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I am pretty sure that's the friend.
Honestly, I didn't know the ground went by they, so sorry.
They, them, yeah. They're very much an older person and just go, fine. And I've been he him for a while. It's fine.
Okay. Frez?
But yeah, like the magic and the whole learning systems thing. I really like this new direction for the show that has seemingly been opened up after Wild Blue Yonder and the implications of letting things in at the end of the universe. Just making Doctor Who more magical, which I've heard people complain about, and I'm like, I get it, I guess.
Well, of course they have, because people hate whimsy.
I mean,
There
it's
was
Doctor
like
Who. They hate Doctor Who. They hate
No.
anything that's silly,
yes,
which,
that's it.
if
But
we're
there
being
was
honest, Doctor Who very much is. It's a
Of
show
course
that
it is.
had. It's a show that had as one of its major recurring characters, there's a green penis.
That's true. That's true. But I just want to add before I let others take the floor that there was an article a while that got passed around on social media a little while ago about this person who was like, I fell out of love with Doctor Who after watching The Giggle, and just had that same vibe of, oh, now it's adding magic and stuff into it, and the rules say that Doctor Who is a science fiction show, and it can cross genres, but it must remain a science fiction show. And it's like laying down all these rules, and all I can think of is that quote from Time of the Doctor: rules, don't you tell me about the rules.
Actually, I'm thinking of a different quote from a review of an episode, The Deadly Assassin. Specifically, what happened to the magic of Doctor Who? It came back.
Iconic.
Well, honestly, I don't get why people are so angry at the idea of magic being in Doctor Who, because, like, I was half joking, and Sean, you're going to absolutely just hate this part. I was half joking when I said that science and magic become virtually indistinguishable, but I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, you can use magnets and you can make something freaking levitate, and that has its own little version of magic right there. I mean, we've had living stones and, just the whole toy maker in general, regeneration, and you're saying that none of this can bring a little bit of magic to anything?
Actually, I don't
We've
think
seen the
that.
Doctor do things that nobody has ever been able to do before. Like, he is able to essentially mind meld with people. He's able to, it's the whole Dr. Donna thing. Like, why can't we have a little bit of magic in Doctor Who?
Yeah, I
It's
don't hate
already
that.
there.
Honestly, the thing with magic I tend to hate is when people try to dismiss it, sort of like magic is just science you're too stupid to understand. That shit I hate. It's why I don't so much hate.
Yeah, I
it's
can
not
get
the
that.
Arthur C. Clarke quote means. It means that if you are magic beyond your science that's beyond your understanding, and it looks like magic. Like, magic and science are not
Yeah.
the same thing. We can have this strange cosmos. The core tenet of magic that from my experience, anyone should understand is, well, it's magic. I don't have to explain it. It's not because I can't
I hate
explain
that.
it. Magic doesn't because if you not so much that explanations will destroy the magic, but rather if the magic works, if it truly works, then you don't need an explanation, and it just works.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's why we're so happy to be like, oh yeah, the weeping angels. They're able to touch somebody and send them back in time, and they're able to eat
That
residual energy from doing that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we can, like, we may not fully understand that, but there's a certain magic to it, and we're just like, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
we will accept that. You gave us an explanation that works.
Yeah, you don't need more than that. Otherwise, you end up with 50 bajillion YouTube videos explaining shit that sound like complete and are gibberish.
Or you have Moffat coming through and be like, they could do this now. They could do this now. Frez.
Yeah, let's make them even more magical by making them completely fictional. The ideas who came before us and want to eat us.
Okay, but I just want to add that the goblins in this episode are working on the rules of magic. Like, all that stuff about bad luck and coincidence
Oh, I love all of that.
is just
Yeah,
it's
that's
absolutely magical. It's like it's alchemy.
Yeah.
They are fueling their the way I saw it was they were using bad luck and coincidence to basically season what they wanted.
Yeah.
Well, except for
which is horrible.
Well, Davina McCall was just fun. And-
Yeah,
and
That's
fair enough.
hilarious. Why are they picking up Ian McCall? That was just for fun. What?
Yeah, sometimes goblins are little shits.
Yes, and so bad luck and coincidence is just their magic system. This is how they operate, which does kind of lead also into their ropes and stuff on their little goblin ship.
Oh my god, I just thought about this. So the whole point of the giggle is that the accidentally invited in the toy maker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put a superstition at the edge of the universe. What
Yeah.
if he
Oh,
made the
God.
goblins?
Uh-uh.
Because he invited superstition to be real?
Yeah. Of course.
I think
And
a
then
lot of things followed in
Love
Toymaker's
that.
wake.
I love that.
One wonders if there is somewhere in the universe now a flat disc is atop up 4 elephants, which
God damn
themselves
it!
are
No,
atop
no.
a turtle.
Leave Terry Pratchett alone.
We should definitely get Rhiannon Pratchett to write an episode, though.
It'd be nice.
She'd be amazing in this new era.
Rain?
But
He's dead.
Rhiannon Pratchett, his daughter.
Yeah, I like the bits of
Oh, okay, I
of
didn't
her
hear
work
that.
I've seen. I've liked her work.
Yeah, she was the writer of the new Tomb Raider games, which was well received, and for which she received tons of abuse on Twitter because of course she did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Video games were a mistake.
to be fair, the new Tomb Raider trilogy is all about women empowerment and blowing dudes' dicks off with revolvers. But you know.
Sounds like fun.
As I said,
Oh, it's error blast.
she's a pretty good writer. But
So ropes.
we're doing the ropes.
Ropes.
Yeah, we just got through the ropes. It's a new language for Doctor Who to understand, and I kind of like the comment about how the goblins aren't time travelers; they just bimble. These
Yes, he like RPD's keeping the quirks that Moffat and Chibnall added to the Doctor to, you know, this current version. Like,
yeah,
you
So
know,
good. I love him.
Speaking of quirks, then it all culminates in an amazing sequence, which a lot of people were up in arms about. This is not what Doctor Who is about. Again, you need some whimsy in your life, everybody.
It's
Come on,
Christmas, you
the
Grinches.
for example, like we had this whole conversation about the issues with this with fucking Star Trek, and the problem there wasn't that it did a fucking musical episode. The problem there was that the song sucked.
But this time it didn't.
They were so yeah. This was a delightful song. Oh,
I had been humming. I've been singing because the song came out like 2 weeks before the episode. I think it was released the same week as the Giggle aired. And it got attention. It got press attention. The episode was making a late bit of Christmas #1. It never was because of the way the charts are set up here. It was never going to challenge for Christmas #1. It got to #4 in the global radio download chart, which is an amazing achievement. Go ahead.
So just to backtrack a bit, the main difference, so why the Doctor Who musical works and the Star Trek one doesn't work, is that the Doctor Who one owns it, whereas the Star Trek one had to step back and go, "Oh my God, we are singing in a musical. Why are we doing this? We're a sci-fi show."
I mean, that can work. I'm pretty sure the guy who didn't like musicals was quite good, though I haven't seen that one yet. But the problem with the Star Trek one is that the tempo is just slow and unenergetic, whereas here you have the trumpet, the glorious trumpet that I am hardwired to love because of Billy and Mandy's musical episode.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just upbeat and delightful, whereas the Star Trek one was just this turgid, slow, "Oh, we are singing a musical number. Why are we singing a musical number?" Or when it would be so much better if it sounded like, "We are singing a musical number. Oh God, we're singing a musical number. Help, we're singing a musical number. We're in a chronic hysterics," and so forth.
Exactly.
The chronic histories. Oh God.
Although honestly, that kind of thing can work as long as you're actually trying to subvert the musical trope. I think it works. Honestly, I think this all works in this one because, you know, it's a bunch of goblins just celebrating the fact that they got their next meal.
And they sound so happy about it.
Like,
And
it's like I will admit the first time I heard this song, I did feel a little bit sick just because I don't like the idea of babies or young children being hurt. I got over it quickly enough though, so maybe that's where some people are coming from. Maybe.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
No, it's very much the anti-whimsy sentiment.
It is, unfortunately.
Well, they are wrong.
The
Frez.
baby.
And I mean, I just want to go back to the real dark implications of this. If you're going off the bad luck being some sort of alchemy ritual, they're basically seasoning the baby with magic to make it taste better for the Goblin King.
Well, the seasoning
To be
with
fair,
actual,
they also actually season it.
yeah,
That too. You know, sometimes you got to be practical.
Yeah. And then Doctor Who responds by doing a musical number of his own with Ruby. Which
I love this
yeah.
so much.
I love the
I
face that
didn't
Ruby
listen to
makes
the
when she
episode.
realizes.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love the face that Ruby makes when she realizes, "Oh shit, I have to sing." Again, she's able to keep tempo, but she's also very clearly has no idea what she's saying.
Yeah, this is a brilliant performance by Millie Gibson.
Absolutely delightful face acting on her part.
Yeah, the way she manages to make a line that was clearly written into the script. It was clear that, you know, it's nice to meet you. How diddly dee. It was clearly written into the script, and she makes it seem through her acting like she's just making it up on the top of her head.
Oh, it's like the best kind of improv.
Yeah.
So like
Frezno?
the facial expressions, I think, are another reason why people compared Ruby Sunday to Clara, because they're both very expressive actresses.
Yeah.
The way they just go wide-eyed and like, what?
It's funny because I've heard Ruby referred to as Rose for the Next Generation.
Mm.
I haven't heard comparisons to Clara, apart from the fact that she looks a bit like Clara, but I can see it.
Well, it's a little too early for me to make a judgment call on that. We have to see more of her adventuring.
But I love the fact that, again, going off the whole whimsy thing and the magical rules system thing, the goblins could just attack, but because they start entertaining them, they're going along with it. And the king's going along with it. The Goblin King, by the way, brilliant puppet.
Yeah. Oh God, that one ugly, lovely puppet.
He looks a bit like Jabba the Hutt, but what a great puppet!
Just a slab of meat.
Ugh. Although to be fair, like to all the people out there who are like, Doctor Who shouldn't have any whimsy. First off, yes, it should. Secondly, it's Christmas. Let it have whimsy.
Yeah, lighten up. It's a Christmas episode.
Also, this is no Jared.
Speaking of lighten up, the people that are going after the singer in real life should also lighten up.
Oh God, this.
I'm going to give a shout out to
Are they
the
actually?
singer. Yeah, Christina Rotondo is her name. She's obviously a brilliant singer because she is the voice of Janice Goblin. I love that name so much.
Don't all the other goblins have pun names too?
I don't know about if they
Yeah, they
got
do.
names.
They do.
There's
Well, Janice was not originally supposed to be Janis Joplin parody. She was originally supposed to be a reference to Janice the Muppet.
Oh God, which herself was a Janis Joplin parody.
Yes,
It all comes full circle.
she was in the originally the subtitles as Janice ICE, and then she started being referred to as Janice Goblin. And people thought that's a better name. We'll change it to that. But that's not the drama that happened. So she's such a singer, Christina Rotondo. She's got a great voice. She's also got her own band. She sings with a band. And the good thing is she's getting so much exposure, good exposure from this. She's been inundated with offers since appearing in Doctor Who. And she's just
Excellent.
a delightful person.
Hold on, the rest of the band has names as well.
Go on.
Pixie Knott, Ralph McTelf,
Okay.
Brian Ferry,
Yeah.
Gob Dylan.
That's the best one.
Bob Nut.
I mean, Pixie Knott's pretty good too, but Gob Dylan is just like 10 out of 10 no notes.
10 out of 10, 5 out of 7.
And this singer, Christina Rotondo, was obviously delighted when they got to number 4 in the global chart. Thought, oh my God, this is amazing. We never expected this. And then some idiot writer called Benjamin Cook went, actually, that's not the UK chart. That's the global chart. You're not in the UK chart. Well, thanks for ruining the tone there, Benjamin.
Oh, damn it, Ben. Damn it.
Let this woman have her moment in the sun. She's busted her ass for it. She deserves her time in the spotlight. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Sorry, I just thought she deserves a shout out. He deserves an anti-shout
That
out.
just made me think of that old XKCD comic. I can't go to bed. Someone is wrong on the internet.
Yeah.
I think you should edit that to be someone is a woman on the internet.
I think that's an amendment for
Which,
2024.
if I'm being
Yeah.
honest, is probably the same thought process for those types of people.
That's an amendment for 2024. But they escaped the Goblin ship.
Woman is ruining my Doctor Who.
They escaped the Goblin ship. We meet up with Ruby's adopted family. Her grandmother is Cherry Sunday. Again, fantastic name.
I just want to go back to what Kat said. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, imagine being like, oh, I don't know, a Doctor Who fan editor who kills Peter Capaldi in their version of Dr. Falls rather than admit that there's a woman doctor. But that's just a hypothetical.
And now I just remembered that fan comic where Peter Capaldi that tried to fix Into the Dalek by having Peter Capaldi basically be this awful person to Clara. Just the most misogynistic shit.
What the fuck? Fix anything?
I
Yeah.
can't stand this.
Yeah,
All right, it's coming back up. It's coming back up. It's coming back up. Here it fucking comes.
I thought you were going to put the Clara image but upside down, so she's giving a thumbs down. I mean, that would Moffat actually do that though, Sean? I mean,
no, but I mean, Twitter keeps having that same gag over and over for the past 20 years. I mean, it has to be in 20 years, right? Maybe even 10 years. It's at the very least been since 2013 when it was made on Tumblr about how Moffat only writes with one hand, and oh god, please come up with a new joke. At least make it funny.
Yeah, I for my money, I remember the one where it's like comparing Irene Adler and River and the lady from Time Heist, and it's like, oh look, Moffat writes the same woman all the time, a lady that he wants to dom him.
No, it wasn't even that. It's just they're the same character because they all wear black.
Oh.
And one time they had it with the fourth woman, and it was a lady from Time Heist whose name I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh god.
yeah, but
it was a lady in Time Heist.
Yeah,
two. It was a
three if
villain.
you count Clara.
Yeah, two guest ladies.
Let's listen. Time Heist may have been unmemorable in some moments, but that Clara fit, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 7. Mwah.
Yeah,
He is bisexual.
I just remember the spoonheads.
that's not in. Oh yes.
No, that
Yeah,
no,
that's Time Heist. Don't gaslight me.
I'm not gaslighting you. The Spoonheads are also in the best of St. John.
Yeah.
How dare you try to gaslight me?
I'm
Free?
not
That is an awful
gaslighting
thing
you.
to do.
There's literally two different things called Spoonheads. There's two things called Spoonheads. I am innocent.
Sure, there is rain.
I'm innocent.
Sure, you are. Sure.
I have not a number. I'm a free man.
I'm Spartacus. Wait, that's not the right thing at all.
Are you sure they were cone heads?
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
God. But yeah, Ruby's grandmother, adopted grandmother, is called Cherry Sunday, which is adorable. She's got her own subplot where she's desperate for a cup of tea that actually doesn't suck, and she finally gets it.
Unfortunately, she's not from England, so it sucked anyways.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
We don't have cheese.
English breakfast.
We don't have spray cheese in a can, chat, mate.
Our lemonade doesn't taste like Sprite.
I wouldn't know because there's different other. Anyway, this bickering is getting us nowhere, but it is entertaining, but it's getting us nowhere. We also meet her adopted mother.
Bickering that gets us nowhere is basically the tagline for this podcast, is it not?
Yes.
It is now. It is now. So we also meet her adopted mother. I believe her name's Carla, is it?
Yeah.
And she's like this really kind person. She's fostered 33 children, and some of them were the crew, by the way. Those photographs on the fridge, they were shots of the crew.
Oh, that was sweet.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that gets wiped out.
It does. And can I talk about the choice they make, which is brilliant? When the goblins come in, they crack the flat. They're saying goodbye to the doctor. They're not actually saying goodbye. But the change in the lighting is just brilliant. When Ruby leaves the universe.
Oh, they all the Christmas lights that were all over the walls that were giving the yellow glow were gone.
But I don't just mean that. I mean, they actually changed the filter on the camera.
Yeah, they made it look like a chibnall, which is odd.
If I had a nickel for every time that a crack showed up in a flat and someone got erased out of existence in Doctor Who, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
It's even worse than that, but go ahead, Kat.
I'm shaking my head at you, Frez, right now. Honestly, this scene is so dark, and not just because of the lighting. This is a dark ass scene. And they go into the whole thing about how foster care sucks, which it does. They go into like what difference it is without Ruby being there, and how terrible their lives are and how sad. And it's like, wow, I love that, but also the fridge horror, the fact that she's not there, she got ate, she's dead.
Yeah,
they ate that baby. Ha ha.
She's as dead. She's as dead as Diacal.
yes.
So I just want to add, because I remember that when you were mentioning foster care, we didn't mention the thing, which is, hey, emotionally resonant, timeless child mention.
Yeah.
Which is actually
the
kind of
doctor
good.
What else?
The doctor can relate to Ruby being an orphan, a foundling, if you will, because he has also discovered that he was one. And I was saying this with a Wild Blue Yonder, right? Where it's like it's good that Davies did it, but maybe not so good that he did it as like Time War angst leftovers. But I like this way. Just he can relate to the companion, and he shares his thing that he was adopted. Yeah. Now, why couldn't you tell Yaz that?
Although with the although with the 10th Doctor, at least with the 10th Doctor, it's greatest hits, so you kind of want to have David Tennant do Time War angst. But more importantly, with the nature of this episode of someone in a Christmas story being erased from time, it brings to mind It's a Wonderful Life. Which, in a weird coincidence, I believe Frezno and I were having a conversation with a third friend of ours.
We did have a chat with our friend about this.
Yeah, we had, and mainly how much I fucking hate so many adaptations of It's a Wonderful Life because they're so mean-spirited and cruel. Like, the Spider-Man one basically reveals that, actually, the world would be better off without you, Peter Parker, but you have to keep existing because you have to keep existing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck that one.
Honestly, the people at Marvel, they really love shitting all over Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It is awful.
Yeah, but there's a difference between how Spider-Man ought to be shot on, which is as sort of this bastard who is kind of sometimes deserves it, sometimes doesn't, and is honestly kind of over-exaggerating it. And then there's the universe would be better off without you. Why do you still exist? But I'm getting ahead of myself because with the contrast with this one is that it is so bleak and miserable, all the future without Ruby, and yet it doesn't feel cruel. It doesn't feel mean-spirited. You get Carol Sunday, the woman who was so warm and heartwarming when we first meet her. Now this cold, based woman who is trying to make ends meet and adopts a child just to make ends meet. The difference and the tears, my God, the tears. Here's which, going back to Frezno's point, oh hey, somebody got erased, and now the people who should remember them are crying.
Yeah,
honestly, I concur with you. It feels more like real life. Like, it's not a horrible exaggeration of everything that could happen. It's basically just real life is happening to them.
And just think of all the people on that fridge. As someone once said to a time traveler, the people you helped, your changes created ripples, and those ripples created ripples. And now look at it. 33 children who were saved, who were given love and affection and a chance at life, a chance at a good family. And now in this timeline,
it's 5.
God knows what happened.
Even if it was only for a week, it was nice. And the goblins took it away because they wanted to eat a baby.
Yeah.
A fucking baby.
Yeah.
So, like, there's other versions of It's a Wonderful Life that is a delight to watch. Like last month's It's a Wonderful Knife, where we get to see Justin Long have his comeuppance for like the second time last year because he was in multiple horror movies and he died in.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing Max Landis in It's a Wonderful Life. Nice.
What?
Oh God, he played Max Landis.
Yeah, he played Max Landis.
Kill it with fire.
I mean,
Kill it with fire.
I mean, he technically played a famous actor who got canceled because he most assuredly did not rape anyone. He swears he did not rape anyone.
Yeah, it's Landis. Get the flamethrower.
Yeah, but yeah.
So therefore, he raped at least 2 people.
Please
Well,
don't
we-
talk about
Allegedly.
fire and the Landis's crimes. You're gonna set
Oh
me off.
God. Yes. Yes, the father begets the son.
Ugh.
You see what you did, Kachiri?
I guess I won't talk anymore. That's all good.
No, that's not what I
We
meant at
love
all.
you. We love you.
Wait, what was the other It's a Wonderful Life thing that came out during Christmas of last year?
It's a one for knife where Justin Long plays a serial killing mayor who dies at the beginning of the movie, and the final girl decides, says maybe the world would be better without her, so he comes back to life and has weekly serial killings. Well,
That sounds incredible.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's
Honestly,
second
I just
goal
hate
didn't
It's a
stop
Wonderful Life, so...
the final girl didn't stop him in the new world, so he got to do his serial killing thing. Anyway,
Kat, do you hate It's a Wonderful Life, or do you hate the last half hour of It's a Wonderful Life?
I hate the entirety of It's a Wonderful Life.
Fair enough.
While we're talking about this movie, I might as well raise the same objection I did when Sean and I were talking with our mutual friend, is that it has such a old-fashioned values thing to it where it's showing off this horrible timeline. Oh my God, George, look at all the ways that all these people have a terrible life without your influence. Oh, this person is broken homeless. This person died because you weren't there to save them. And your wife, she never remarried. She's an old maid. Oh, she never found a man. Oh,
That's why I don't like it.
When you're right not to. Fuck that.
Yeah. But It's a Wonderful Man sounds like an amazing title. Probably not as good a film as it sounds. So Ruby's been wiped out of history essentially because she's been eaten as a baby, as a young child. The doctor says he'll fix this. He both does and he possibly doesn't as well, because I think this is going to have ramifications too.
How?
He goes back in. I'll explain. He goes back in time, and he uses the intelligent gloves. Which you're right, by the way, with what you said in Discord, Frez. This is just Ghost Protocol.
This is just Tom Cruise's glove that he uses to climb the Burj Khalifa in Mission Impossible.
Except the crazy son of a bitch did it for real in that film.
He did.
Because Tom Cruise is crazy and has a death drive.
Yeah.
can we point out just how simple but amazing those gloves are, though?
Yeah, they're absolutely delightful. I wasn't even thinking about Ghost Protocol until you brought it up.
Honestly, I hope they keep the gloves around. That would be incredibly useful for the Doctor, which means they're going to get rid of it after this episode.
I hope
Mavity is still a thing.
What do you mean?
Yay, Mavity!
What do you
Mavity!
mean Mavity still a thing? He just said they're anti-Mavity gloves. What?
Yeah, sorry, my mistake.
Why are you making a big deal out of that? It's not like
It's one word to say.
Okay.
Mavity.
You know they're going to keep Mavity around just for
Mavity.
some random character to say gravity and have it catch the Doctor's attention.
I mean, the Doctor already did say gravity by mistake in
Yonder. I'm saying like we're going to have an episode where kind of like the Spy Master reveal. Hopefully it's not the Master, but
no, it'll be the Ronnie.
It'll be some character.
I will get to that later, but he basically he tries to save Ruby. He does actually save Ruby. He uses the gloves to pull the airship down onto the church spire. The Goblin King gets Simon Skinned.
Though I did see some people make issues with that, given the Goblin's relationship with Jewish people and being killed by a Christian spire.
Well,
I don't think that fully works, if I'm being honest. Like, it's very much not using the Jewish stereotype version of goblins, which are very specific details that this
we don't know about the Goblin King. He could survive getting that through the stomach. The other goblins are certainly alive. The ship flees.
The Goblin King? How did you get back? I escaped.
No, Frezno, you did it wrong. The Goblin King, how did you escape? Magic.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that works.
I take this more of the fact that he probably survived his encounter, but he's now terrified to try it again because he doesn't want to get bailed a second time, so they just flee and we never see them again. And the coincidence is broken, and the Doctor now puts Ruby back on the steps, slightly changes history, but she's still taken in by the church, so that all gets resolved. Then he chases after the person that left the baby in the first place, and
he doesn't chase after
he just
her.
looks. He just
Yes.
looks.
Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi,
but we know for a fact
Wigger.
that he will know
Okay.
who the person
I'm
is
just
because
trying to for the rest of this.
the opening narration gives away that the Doctor knows who the person is.
I mean,
And
we
also-
don't know. Is
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
opening? Yeah. The question is the opening narration diegect or non-diegect? Is this an actual thing that's being said in the episode, like the opening narration in Listen and the opening narration from The End of Time? Or
Yeah.
is it a non-diegect thing like the opening narration in The Deadly Assassin?
Good point. Very, very good point.
Hmm.
We do know from Russell T Davies we are returning to this church, and that there were characters in that scene that we didn't see.
I mean,
That's
to
true.
be fair, again, at some point, Ruby's going to want to go. Like, she specifically boards TARDIS so that she can go back in time to figure out who her parents were. So
Yeah,
it's going
but
to happen.
when I say we return to that church, I mean literally that scene. We're returning to that scene, I think, because of the whole. There's people in that scene you didn't see. So
You mean
Yes,
Matt
it's
Smith
gonna
is
be-
there with his bow tie off?
no. That was
I
Wild
mean,
Blue
it's gonna be-
Yonder.
Yeah, I think that scene is gonna be very much like the age-old classic time travel story from involving 1980s. Totally killer.
The curator, what are you doing here at the church on Ruby Road?
Who's that person who looks like Marcus? Guy removes his mask. Oh my god, it's the master!
He did play the
And the master
master.
is just Marcus with a goatee.
Oh my god.
He did play the master, and it was pretty much as Mark Gates with a goatee.
Yeah, like it's just Marcus clean shaven, removes mask. Marcus with goatee. He's the master. I've just given you an entire season arc, Russell.
You're welcome.
The master, what are
Here's
you?
your backstory, and he hands over a mustache.
The master, how are you here? I shaved.
Again. Well, he has a wife now.
God.
Yeah. But yes, the day is safe for the time being anyway. Ruby
Thanks
is
to the
back.
Powerpuff Girls.
Fantastic. Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
Yay.
But
Good
this
times.
will, I think, have repercussions. The Doctor then changes history again one more time to save Davina McCall and gives us the funniest line of the entire episode. So he stops the tree from falling and Davina's like, "You just saved my life." He goes, "Merry Christmas, Davina McCall."
Oh my god.
What a charming fellow.
To be fair, we didn't get a resolution to that scene. We saw the tree falling and then it cut out. So
Of
for all
course.
we know, he had saved her the entire time and didn't change anything.
Well, that's Moffat's theory of time travel, wherein everything that happens, but we can change the specific details of what happens. So that way it can look like something else happens. And oh god, my eyes are going cross.
Also, Kat,
Uh,
were you active on the internet on Christmas Day last year by any chance?
Nope.
Because it wasn't you changing the Wikipedia entry to Davina McCall says she died on Christmas Eve 2023.
Oh my
Nope.
god. No. She only had this TARDIS wiki to change the name of monsters to aquatic Silurians.
Because it was obviously a joke, and people were like, "Oh yeah, that's really funny," and then some boring mod changed it back immediately.
Wikipedia.
I mean, to
we're
be fair,
boring.
that is legitimately one of the things that could distress a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
But they said she was killed. She died in a Christmas tree in an episode of Doctor Who.
Hmm.
It said
Oh,
that on
then
the
there's no
edit.
excuse.
Ah, okay.
It was making it put like a real death, but then it mentioned on an episode of the TV show Doctor Who. I thought, yeah, okay, that's quite funny trolling.
Hmm.
It's not being malicious. It's making it obvious it's a troll. She's actually still very much alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Davina's alive, and Ruby's going to board the TARDIS now, and oh god, this is just delightful.
It's another one of those. Oh my god, it is bigger on the inside than the outside.
I love these
Yeah.
scenes, and her
Yes.
acting is just brilliant throughout.
And drawing us back to our earlier conversation, I think the last time this happened was with Clara, where she just goes into TARDIS and just goes, wait, and then runs out to see if it actually is bigger on the inside. Right? That was the last time that happened with Clara in The Snowman. So Victorian
Smaller
Clara.
on the outside. Well, that's different.
Wrong Clara, Frezno.
Oh right, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
He puts up
You
a
haven't
picture
gone
of
with the
Ruby
Victorian
Sue.
Clara. How checkmate, atheists.
I do like Ruby's deduction where she's like, "Wait, he said he said Houdini when we were on the conversation. When was Houdini? Like 1920s? Wait, oh my god, he didn't even mention time travel. Oh my god, he's time travel. Holy crap!
How many weeks did the Doctor spend with Houdini?
What? Well, he spent an entire summer, a hot summer.
And a wet weekend.
Look, it's Houdini. He's magical.
Well, that's just it. He never claimed to actually be magical.
Well, yeah, it's magic.
Yeah,
I don't gotta explain shit.
He spent the second half of his life trying to debunk psychics and mediums.
Yeah, because those are con artists who are bastards. Unlike real magicians like Steve Moore's best friend, noted con artist.
Oh, I knew Get You on the Show was going to be a hit. The hit being me bashing my head against the wall, but it's still a hit.
The Kate Bush song about Harry Houdini is actually sung from the perspective of Doctor Who.
Wow.
I mean, there's really only one Kate Bush song that anyone knows, and it's "If Only Could I'd Make a Deal with God."
Well, Wuthering Heights as well. Wuthering Heights.
And the one that makes you orgasm.
Wait, what?
Kate
Yeah.
Bush songs make people orgasm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Now I know.
No, he's right.
Okay,
He
I
is
caught
right.
that one. I caught that.
Yeah. So we have our two-person crew on board the TARDIS, and they're about to go off on adventures for 2024 and get into a lot of trouble. It's going to be fantastic. But then
Yay.
the Disney infection raises its ugly head again because we have a mid-credit scene. Unless you were watching this on Disney Plus in America, in which case you didn't get a mid-credit scene.
It was still big credits.
No,
It was-
they rolled it. They did a brief ad for, or we're gonna have Doctor Who soon, and then they played the scene.
Yeah, and then we're to the
before I'm
credit.
interrupted for the 1,000th time this podcast.
Go ahead.
No, I haven't been able to say really anything for 30 minutes, but it's fine. Just
Well, we're getting to the bit that you want to talk about. So, the
We're all
mid-credit
ears.
scene, and I've got a theory on this. I know Kachiri's got a theory on this too, and I'll let him go first. But the mid-credit scene is that the TARDIS is taken off, and then we see the neighbour that was having an argument with Anita Dobson's character, Mrs. Flood. Go, did you see that? It just disappeared, and Mrs. Flood is not bothered at all by this. Go, oh, Merry Christmas, don't make such a fuss. And then, of course, she winks at the camera and breaks the fourth wall. Not in that order, but you never seen a TARDIS before? Oh my god, it's another mystery.
go on, Kat.
I'm going to say this once. It is not a
Kat, we lost you.
It's not a miss what?
Hurry.
This is a Christmas episode, okay? This is full of whimsy. It's got a musical number. It's got goblins. It is full of whimsy. Now, I treat everything as two separate events. So she talks to the neighbor and she says, don't panic, because she's seen what the box can do. She knows that it can fly around and it can, just disappear in front of her and all that. She knows what it can do. The fourth wall breaking bit is a set that is meant just fourth wall break, and it doesn't mean anything. That's it. They just
There's
wanted to
one
have a
theory.
nice little nod to the audience and be like, look.
I hope that is what it actually is, and it's just like a nod to the Merry Christmas to all you at home
Yeah, I just shared that.
that Hartnell did. Yeah, or a Happy Christmas to all you at home. But yes, that scene. But there are other theories, and Kachiri's got one of them right now.
Anyway, so before we got the whole Ruby doing her whole deduction thing, the Doctor runs out of the TARDIS after saving Davina, being victorious, and he stops and he starts having second thoughts, and Miss Flood starts talking to him. He mentions how he thinks he's all bad luck, and she asks about what's who he is and what's going on. He's wearing an orange shirt in this scene. Early on in this episode, it's established that every time it's a different day, the Doctor wears a different outfit. This is not like previous Doctors who wears only one outfit for their entire tenure with small changes. If it's a different day, he wears a different outfit. When Ruby runs into the TARDIS, he's changed from an orange shirt to a blue shirt in the 2 minutes from that and then. I'm pretty sure the reason why Miss Flood knows about it's a TARDIS and all that stuff is because she and the Doctor went on a quick trip that we'll see next year in 2024. That's my theory on Mrs. Flood. However, with mysteries, we are currently sitting on like 6 or 7 of them, and I think that's too many damn mysteries. We got basically none throughout the Chibnall era. I don't know why we need to throw a million out there.
We got no mystery. Whoa! We got no mystery of the Chibnall era.
Yeah, we got a mystery in the Chibnall
We
era.
got one mention of the Timeless Children in her second episode, and it was not repeated again for 19 episodes.
I didn't see they were doing
No,
well.
the real mystery is why they let him continue.
Yeah,
No, the real mystery is why we kept watching it.
yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
was waiting for it to get better.
John excluded, of course.
Yeah, I
It got
quit.
better.
Kachiri's idea that this is just that she went for a trip with the Doctor, and that's why she knows what time it is. It's quite sound. It's not my personal idea on this. Obviously people go, oh, it's clearly going to be an important character for next year. Like, oh, it's the Rani. The people actually say it's the Rani because Mrs. Flood. What comes after the flood? Rain. Rain's now going to have Rani. No, for God's sakes.
You're the Ronnie!
But my theory is that she's not anyone particularly special. It's that the Doctor changes history when he saves Ruby in 2004. And as a result of that, things change. And perhaps, the Doctor of the TARDIS is more famous in the present day. People know what a TARDIS is now. I don't know.
My money is, given the themes of a child being abandoned and left behind by those who raised them with a mysterious person, that there really is only one person who Mrs. Flood or maybe even Ruby's mom could be. Susan.
Oh, God.
Now, see, I got thoughts on this, and it ties into two. Like, for one, all this speculation about, oh my God, what legacy character could it be, kind of annoys me, just because we just had an old, obscure 60s Doctor Who character come back, and we had our big fan service. We're ostensibly supposed to be in, this soft reboot, and right away we're launching into, what cameo could be coming back? Susan is something that could make sense, and you could have some great emotional baggage there to untangle. It's definitely a tempting callback to go for RTD, but the Rani just doesn't make any sense to me, simply because I ask of everyone who's like, oh my God, it could be the Rani. I ask, what can you do with bringing the Rani back that you can't do with just making it the Master?
Exactly.
I mean, you can say the same thing for most Cybermen stories. Why have the Cybermen when you could just have them be Daleks?
I mean, that's another litmus test. is like, except I would go so far as to say, if you can replace the Cybermen in the story with evil robots and have it not change much, then you've made a bad Cyberman story.
Yeah. But the reason why I think she isn't a legacy character, or I hope she's not a legacy character, is because her demeanor completely changes before the Doctor going back in time to save Ruby and after. For that reason, I don't think she can be Susan or the Rani or whoever. It could be that this Mrs. Flood is not the actual original Mrs. Flood. She might have been replaced by something else. And you don't cast Anita Dobson, in just a bit part, but we'll find out. Anita Dobson, for her part, is being very, very evasive about who she's playing. Which you would expect.
I'm, again, to go back to my theory, I'm pretty sure she's going to show up throughout season 1, say cryptic things every episode. And season 1's going to end with Ruby going, do you know what's up with her? Oh, she and I went on a trip. And then that's how they're going to say.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Maybe she even has a gold tooth in her pocket.
No!
That's one of the other millions of things going on right now.
No, I hope Kat's theory is more correct, but
Speaking of which, Kat.
Honestly, I brought up the list that Kuchiri made of all the different quote-unquote mysteries. I have a feeling that 3 of them, Master Tooth was mentioned by the goblins, right? Who the heck is Master Tooth?
Was the giggle.
The Master's tooth was the giggle. We know
Okay.
the Master's in that tooth.
Somebody picked up the tooth.
Yeah, someone picked up the tooth.
Okay. So I think the Meeps boss and the one who waits, I think that may be the same person. Because having
Probably.
2 big bads is probably a really stupid idea. The Master's Tooth, I think that really was just, hey, if y'all want to use the Master again, here you go. Here's the opportunity.
Yeah. 100%.
Maybe they'll use it in the future.
Plus, it was a callback to the Last of the Time Lords, when the ring of the Master was stolen by a mysterious woman's hand.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
David
so it
didn't
could
call
be
the
that
hand
that
of the
person will
Rani.
be important in the future, but who knows? But also, honestly, Ruby's mom, that is a legit mystery, 100%. I think Susan Twist and Mrs. Flood are just characters. I don't think they mean anything.
Susan
really
Twist
don't.
is the actress's name.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual character's name was in this one.
Yeah, I think she was just background extra number 5.
Loud
Yeah,
yell.
so I think Susan Twist was just pulled from a pool,
There's-
and they wanted to put her in.
She
Yeah, again,
does
it's trolling.
she does have a personal page where she's listed her role on Doctor Who as restricted.
Ah.
Oh.
Even then,
But
even
is that the
then, it
actress
could,
having a bit of fun with it, or
like we have to think that at some point Ruby's going to return home, and she might perform with her band again, and maybe that same person is going to be there, or maybe she's going to be used in future roles or something. We honestly don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she could be like one of those big characters in the background, like Colin Baker.
I will come after you.
yeah. So that's pretty much the end of the Christmas special. But we did get a glimpse into the future, and God, I'm excited for this future.
And we have a date, which is wild. Aren't they supposed to announce these 3 weeks in advance, but not before deleting their entire social media for a week?
So May 2024 is the month it's coming out, which we've already mentioned before. And we get a glimpse of, what we're going to see. We get the whole costume changing thing every week.
That afro looks good on him.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's an episode with a landmine. I'm sure that it's not going to be a special episode. It's not going to have anyone important writing that episode.
No, not at all.
Who's
We
writing
also
the
get a glimpse
episode?
of certain new villains that are going to be showing up. We get a shot of Jinx Monsoon, who apparently is playing the most powerful enemy of the Doctor yet. I wouldn't read too much into
Yes,
that.
Jinx Monsoon has been cast as Mary Whitehouse.
Yes, has been cast as the continuity.
She's just playing Ian Levine. They're doing Ian Levine as the bad guy again.
No, we did that once. Let's never do it again.
No, let's do it all the time.
Let's all agree to never be creative again. But we have that character. We have somebody who's very much blurry and out of shot. We have a weird abomination with a lot of teeth, which just looks wild.
We also have Rose coming back.
Yeah, and for some reason, people
also
really excited about that on Twitter when it's like a 2-second shot of her in the teaser.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
she's hugging the Doctor in the unit base, which means we'll also have the return of the Vlinks
and Mel, and probably
And
Shirley and Kate.
And who knows? Maybe David Tennant will be back.
Oh, don't please.
No, he's busy shooting Good Omens season 3.
I'm almost certain
Can
that
only hope.
Donna will be said that she's been hired by UNIT, but she's on one of her 5 weeks of holiday.
It's gonna be like the Brigadier. He's out in Geneva.
Yeah, we sent Donna on assignment to negotiate a peace treaty between the Sontarans and the Rooters, and a full-scale war broke out.
And that's why the spin-off happens.
Patagonia doesn't exist anymore. It's kind of her fault, but we like her too much to blame her for it.
So, is there anything else?
I think we've covered everything. I don't want to go into like a whole in-depth what I thought of this. I just thought it was a brilliant start to the new era.
If I'm being
Yes.
honest, I was kind of underwhelmed by the episode overall. I
That's
had a lot
fair.
of fun talking about it, but it felt less like this is our less like planting a flag and more like we're in a pair of safe hands. It's less the 11th hour and more the pilot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. It's very delightful and very scary at times, and has a musical number involving a trumpet. What more could I ask for? But it just feels like a safe pair of hands rather than and going in with a bang. Oh well, maybe that's what May's for.
Hopefully. I enjoyed it. The biggest standout for me is Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor Who. I fucking love him. Mila Gibson is nice, but she's going to have to grow on me a little bit. We're going to need to get some more adventure for me to really gel with who she is and what she's doing as a character. But otherwise, delightfully fun. Loved the little magical nods, and it is good to have good, rock-solid Doctor Who again. I can understand you're wanting a bang as opposed to something sort of safe, Sean, but I'll take that over Chibnall any fucking day of the week.
I mean, the Doctor straight up shanked the bad guy. We haven't had a Doctor go out of their way to murder and maim a bad guy in such a long time.
I think that was an accident, technically.
Well, when you pull the ship down onto a steeple, that's not an accident.
Well, he didn't know it was going to land right where the Goblin King was.
That's manslaughter at best.
I mean, you saw the side of the Goblin King. The Goblin King was at that ship. He was going to hit the Goblin King. What was he aiming for? The Goblin King's nads?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The Goblin King's got nards.
He's the Goblin King. He now sings falsetto. He's the Goblin King.
I mean, for crying out loud, that's basically what would happen with a Goblin King. I mean, look at David Bowie's Godpiece.
For God's sake, Sean. We see how it's in, but nobody mentioned Labyrinth. We were fine. We were home and dry.
Excuse you. I mentioned that
opened
quite
this
some time
little
ago.
Yeah, I literally did the you remind me of the Babe bit with Frezno at the beginning of this.
Guilty.
I can't remember what happened 2 hours ago.
This is going to be a delightful podcast to edit.
Oh, isn't it, Jim?
Have fun.
Yeah, Ray gets to hear me have half thoughts for an hour.
All right.
I
Kat,
right.
what'd you think?
don't really get to say that.
Yeah, Kacheri didn't get to fully say his.
Yeah,
Why not
Sean, he was
finish?
still talking.
Kacheri, go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
Oh, I loved it. I hope we get more of this going forward. I also still want actual sci-fi episodes, but this is the kind of thing I would like to see more of.
I honestly really enjoyed this episode. I agree with Kucheri. I want more of this going on. And of course, I'd be absolutely fine with, some more sci-fi based stuff, a little less magic. A good balance essentially. It's like I get it. You got Disney money now. You don't have to make it all magical. It'll be okay, honey. Um,
Hmm.
I want to reiterate. I don't think that Mrs. Flood or whoever Susan Twist plays is going to be a big thing. I'm really hoping they're not going to be a big thing. And obviously, if I'm wrong, then I'll eat a hat or something like that.
I think we've all, with the exception of Sean, who was a little underwhelmed by it, and I completely understand that. I think we all pretty much really enjoyed it, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, overall.
I
I enjoyed it when I was able to hear it, but that's my internet issue.
We don't need to have an 11th hour. I'm the doctor, basically run thing for every single doctor, and the fact that Gatwa, without even saying a word, did what he did to the Goblin King at the end of the episode just shows that he's still someone you don't want to mess with.
I love how carefree he is, though, as a doctor.
Yeah, he's carefree, but if you get on his bad side, he did that entire climax, he said nothing. So it's like, while he's like pulling down the ladder, there is a level of fear to that as well. Yeah, all Smith did was like, hey, look me up. Now you know who I am. Run. Capaldi, do you have a list of deaths on there? Look up deaths caused by the doctor. Oh, well, you were armed. Never. You were alone. Always. And then the guy runs off, Like, yeah, this isn't to those levels, but,
Though that one was late Capaldi. The early Capaldi comparison would be after the robot guy falls or gets pushed, depending on your interpretation, he just looks into the camera.
I'm just saying in general, like scenes where we should know, while the doctors have a go lucky, we should also know not to get on their bad side. What's up, Kat?
Honestly, I'm going to agree with you slightly here. I think by having the doctor not do that big confrontation type thing really works in this favor. And he's not using words in order to describe who he is. He's using his actions to describe who he is, which is great after the Chibnall era of no actions.
Not even words.
So it's just nice to see the doctor doing something, and he explains who he is by solving everything in the episode rather than, trying to talk it out or anything like that. I enjoyed it.
It's a strong debut for Gatwa. That scene with the half-faced man deep breath is one of my favorite scenes of all time, though.
Like breath on a mirror.
You are a broom. But that goes into the whole ship of feces, which we won't discuss right now. Sean, you've been a fantastic sport tonight, so I think it's only fair. If you've got anything to plug, this is your time.
Well, let's see. I recently finished doing a long-form introduction to Doctor Who with my friend and fellow comics critic David Mann called The Who Watch, which will get a link in the bio. I wrote a short story for the collection Horrors of Archbeetle or Archbeetle Press, which I also edited. The short story is about a group of friends reuniting after years of being apart because the ghost that they summoned has returned. I'm the author of 2 books, The Tower Through the Trees and One Must Imagine Scot-Free Happy. And I'm currently bumbling around the internet doing whatever feels my fancy. One such thing is trolling Frezno about whether or not The Straight Story is the greatest Star Trek movie ever without ever providing an explanation. And you know what?
I mean, Sean's correct.
And you know what? I think that's going to change. I'm going to explain to Frezno why The Straight Story is the best Star Trek film. Under conditions. See, a few months back, I posited an idea to Frezno about having them do a series of articles on comic books. It's 1 month of exploring a different comic each month. I have already given Frezno the list of 12 comics and which month they will be doing those respective comics. If Frezno wants me to explain the straight story, I will add 6 books to that list to be done in the back half of the year. Frezno, do you accept these terms?
1 second.
Just get a pen that's filled with blood for him to sign with on the contract.
This is just a blackmail skit from Monty Python.
I am truly able. I am truly able.
Cat would approve.
Why would I approve?
All right.
Because it's a fucking scheme to get me to do shit.
All right.
Yeah, you still owe me Hatful Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the list and ask each of you to help me pick one, and it happens. Starting with
anything
Kat.
Deadpool. Anything
No,
Deadpool.
no, I already have the list of 6 additions on there.
Oh,
Kat.
fine.
Between July and December, when should Frezno do the bad one?
Am I allowed to have context? Like, can I
No.
ask what superhero?
There are only 2 superheroes on comics on this list. The original list had only 1 superhero comic. There is a Batman comic and a Spider-Man comic. I will not tell you which one is which one is the Batman comic and which one is the Spider-Man comic.
Well, as long as you're not going to make him do one more day. August.
I am not.
God.
You're saying that
August.
August.
You want it August?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Kachuri, which month should Frezno do the podcast one between July and December, excluding August?
Wait, the podcast one?
Yes.
He's not giving us more than that, apparently.
Because if he gives you more than that, he gives me more than that.
I don't know, like August.
August has already been taken.
Other than August.
Oh. July, I guess.
All right. Okay. Rainiac,
Yes.
when should Frezno do the angry one?
Well, I'm going to be kind to him. Let's not do his birthday. Let's not do NaNoWriMo. October.
October. Okay. Frezno,
Yes.
when do you want the oh boy one?
Oh, no.
Give me my birth month. September.
All right.
There are so many places that could go.
There are.
Okay, that leaves the challenging one, which you will be doing in December, because I am kind, and the out of print one, which you will do in November. Sure. When you have done all of your comics reviews, both the ones I have assigned you and these 6 surprise ones, and then we will podcast together about the straight story and the comics that you have written about.
I'm
Oh my
on
goodness.
board with this, but I gotta say, I honestly feel like I'm on the phone with Hans Gruber.
Mr. Frezno, I have counted to 3. There will not be a 4.
Yep.
I
Anyways,
saw joins the chat.
the only other project that I'm going to be a part of is with the Common Writer Reviews, which I believe has a new YouTube channel.
Yep, the first episode came out a few hours ago now. And we're going to be I'm uploading all the previous reviews that we did, the first 10 episodes every week. And then hopefully I'll have more episodes by the time we get to episode 10.
Well, now that we're out of obligations for new Doctor Who, I'd say we can start getting back on the Common Writer saddle now that we don't have those obligations. But speaking of Doctor Who, what the hell are we doing next?
Ah, that reminds me. You remember I get to pick this one, don't I?
Yeah.
Well, yes, you do get to pick one, yes.
Well, assuming, of course, the 200th episode spectacular doesn't happen in episode 205.
Is it 2 or 4?
Yeah,
Yes,
this is 204. This is
It's
either
20 Yeah,
no,
you're
this
right.
is-
You're
No, it
right.
would be. Wait, what? It'd be two. Wouldn't it be 20?
200 was the Star Beast. 201 was Wobbly Yondo. 202
Okay, so
was Giggle. This is 203.
so it'd be 204. 204,
Yes.
assuming.
You're doing
So it's either
205. You're giving us 205.
205.
What have you got
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah. Do you remember in 2008 when Doctor Who was good?
Uh-oh.
I know of it.
I have to get mentioned of it all the damn time, but go on.
We just got away from David Tennant and he wanted to bring us back.
I don't. You're watching 42.
Oh, Christ. Back to where it all began with this Chibnall fella.
Oh, you are evil. It's not even that bad, but you are evil. The funniest thing, though, this is only the second Martha episode we've ever done.
I am sorry. I am so sorry.
It's not terrible.
You're
it's
not
just there.
sorry.
No,
It's
No,
there,
I'm
and
not.
it's short, and we don't have too much to say about it, so it's fine.
Mhm.
That will be 205 then, because 204 would have been the episode 200 had, everything not exploded at once. And for that one, we're going back to the original plan of the mystery. And the mystery will definitely happen now, and our planned guest is definitely on board. In fact, our planned guest might give the giveaway by tweeting about what they're going to be talking about with us, but that's fine.
well, they've mentioned it a handful of times on their stream too. But,
It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, that person is going to be talking about that episode or those episodes, and it should be a fun time. It's been a long time in the making.
Yes, but this show is now pretty much done. So, Rainiac, where can you find us lovely people?
I thought you'd never ask me. You can find us lovely people on Twitter, with one exception. At RadiantManiac, at Freezing Inferno, at Conquer Usurper, at DevCross2000 for Sean, and Thresh.com/Nikashiri.
You can purchase Back to the 11th Hour over on Amazon, which was written by our good friend Liam McTire, who will be returning to the Doctor Who Reviews podcast with whatever the Beatles episode is.
The one with the Beatles, yes.
Ticket to Ride.
It
A
might
Hard
be a
Day's
put on
Night.
that.
I think the
That'd be
name is A
amazing.
Hard Day's Night, according to the rumor.
Oh,
That's also amazing.
yes, but
I mean, it's a time travel episode. Call it 8 days a week.
sold.
Hey,
Sold.
Call it Glass Onion. and Make it really
paperback
after
writer.
Making a put on Strawberry Fields forever. But
I got that reference, Sean.
it's not a reference, he's just singing a song.
No, it's a reference.
I know. But
I know
Switch-
I've let you down. I've been a fool to myself. Fun fact,
we're
that
also
song
on
actually sounds...
Switch. With one notable exception. Our
Sean?
our ever usurping special guest. Twitch.tv/Rainiac /Freezing Inferno /Concave Usurper /The Kachiri.
I want to know the fun fact about Com's sister Todd.
Oh, yeah. The ending part of it sounds like Hey Jude.
It sure does.
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
And if we've got nothing else to talk about, and I'm hoping that we haven't, because my God, I need to get out of here before I just start cracking up. We hope you enjoyed this train wreck talking about John Ruby Road. I know I did.
Thank you for listening to this recording. Unfortunately, I was not able to be part of this podcast. Goodbye.
Say goodnight, Reniac.
Rainiac casually has an aneurysm.
Good night, Rainiac.
Oh, good night.